Now joining us is Khaled Mahmoud, who is a journalist and researcher on Sudanese affairs. Thank you very much for being here with us, Khaled Mahmoud. So, based on survivor accounts and what you have heard on the ground yourself, what specifically did the RSF fighters do inside Zamzam over those terrifying 72 hours?
تمام.
Let me ask that question again in case you didn't catch it. What did the RSF do inside Zamzam in those 72 hours?
The they actually the RSF they sieged it from three sides, and they started to strike it through planes. Also, they had other arms also that were glued to the trucks, which ensures, of course, the racism there, and it also shows how this is connected to other incidents from before. And they said that the atrocities that happened there from 2023, a witness said from there, he said that there was timed with a severe starvation case that's going on there, that it reached that the Sheikh in Al Goma, he said that he can't talk because of how starved and how hungry he is, and you guys won't be able to listen because of how starving you are. He wasn't able to talk, because of the threats, because of the starvation. He couldn't talk, and he just prayed. And the people described it as the shortest Goma, and the people there said that the goal was clear, which is getting rid of the people to prepare the resistance for what's coming. And this also comes with somehow the organization that had were described what happened as the largest atrocity and the largest humanitarian crisis she's seen before in a quarter century while she was in service. And so what happened there is the start of it is actually a result of previous massacres and what's happening, and it is also an extension of upcoming massacres. It's the same thing that happens every time, the killing, the abductions, the everything that do there.
Now, many victims remain uncounted, bodies unrecovered. What are the families of those who were killed going through right now? And I believe that whole families themselves were wiped out in this particular 72-hour period. How is the RSF control obstructing people's rights and basic dignities?
The families, they actually can't do anything but escape, but even escaping is, it is very risky for them now. They are at the risk of being killed now. And so, as witnesses said before, they said that the killers helped them, while escaping, and they called for them, told them, where are you going? We will chase you and we will kill you wherever you are. There are some statements from some of the political leaders, but actually they when it comes to reality, there's no. And so what to say that the families can't go anywhere. They're just going into the unknown. They actually can be killed.
Now, we've heard, of course, of widespread sexual violence, a story that's all too common in these kinds of situations, rape being used as a weapon of war. We're hearing of forced disappearances of women being kidnapped and then taken to RSF held areas. Do we have any chances of getting them back?
The only incident that had witnesses is the the attacking party abducting 50 teenagers, her girls, and taking them in a car or like a truck and getting them to a faraway place. And also under what's going on, this this statement was in the news actually, but one can tell where they are. They took them to where the killers are, and the organizations can't do anything but talk and just call for having them returned.
What is RSF's broader strategy in North Darfur? We have ethnic cleansing, we have forced displacement. You mentioned hunger as well being used as a weapon. What's next? What do they want?
Actually, there is usually in here, people complain about the American interference, but actually there isn't anything but to call for the American resolution. We want to have like the Washington conference or the American peace plan that is being discussed, and this calls for ending this forcefully with African forces.
Now, humanitarian access, of course, access is life or death in a situation like this. What would be the minimum that you would demand right now that could make the situation better?
We need to talk to the politicians. We need to call out for them. So this means that Hajar, he is the leader for the construct, which is apart from of the RSF. We say that we want to have safe corridors, and with that we guarantee safe corridors. These people, they have, there is an importance of recognizing, of having the world recognize them, or having people accept them. And so going to the political leaders, either we are pro or not, we need their support at this point, and they need to take full responsibility. I think this is number one resolution. And then after that, number two, we need to get safe corridors guided by the African forces or international forces. And so yeah.
When it comes to accountability, it's something that hasn't really happened in Darfur. But this time, what kind of concrete levers should be used against the RSF and its enabling networks? Perhaps targeting sanctions on the commanders, seizing fuel and arms, choking off the gold trade. What would you do?
First of all, we need to admit that the Darfur situation can't be resolved without the whole Sudanese issue, and as we saw before, we have the Washington conference that was postponed it looks like it was political. The situation now, we just can't deal with this postponing the conference. And so when we talk to Robio, the American, and also Wallace, and there are what causes for the postpone. He wants to hold a conference that has Qatar and the European Union, the African Union. He wants to have a full-on conference. He wants to have a victory for Donald Trump, but actually, Sudan can deal with this, and Darfour also. We can deal with this and have this as the forgotten case, as we saw. This is very important, and they are pressuring the world. And so when we are talking about the sanctions are actually imposed on both parties, and they can even be, overstepped. But when it comes to gold, gold is not anyone's actually. Sudan has around 100 tons of gold, but actually the country doesn't have even a fraction of that, and so it is just, the gold is not just anyone's, it is underground, and it is very hard to control the gold trade, because of this pressure, of all this pressure. And so if we are talking about the mechanisms, and the sanctions actually are in vain. They do nothing, and the gold trade also. So we can only pressure the countries to have them support Sudan,
Okay.
and we need forces to
Okay, well,
guide the
thank you,
corridors.
Khaled Mahmoud. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Great to have your insights.